Okay, we're back. We're reviewing The Last Outlaw. Thoughts?
Um,
Wait, is Mickey Rourke's face on three?
okay.
One, two, three. Mickey Rourke's face! Yeah, it was pretty fucking awful. What'd you think of the movie? What'd you think of The Last Outlaw with Mickey Rourke and an excellent cast that's misbegotten?
I wish you made me watch Young Guns instead.
Yeah, could we do that? We'll do that. I'm going to do a history versus Hollywood on that
My problem mainly is what you just said. We had a great, great cast.
one. I know.
Mickey Rourke's melting candle face aside,
It
he
just
is a great
so
actor.
weird.
He's a really good actor. Keith
Mhm.
David, great actor. Say his name, Mulroney, because I can't say his first name.
Dermot Mulroney.
Great actor.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Levine,
Mm-hmm.
great actor.
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi, great actor.
Gavin
The
O'Hurley.
guy that looks like Jake Busey, great actor. I've seen him in a
actor.
couple things, like
A,
Tales from
a
the Crypt.
phenomenal cast.
Yeah.
Jeff, you say it's Jeff Murphy,
Who's Jeff Murphy?
the director,
Oh, I don't
but it's
fucking
spelled
remember.
Geoff.
Yeah.
And he directed Young Guns too. So you're thinking, wow.
He can direct a
And
western.
this is 2 years after Young Guns 2 would have come out.
Okay.
So you have this great director, you have this great cast. What could possibly go wrong? Every
Lot.
single fucking thing
A
about the
lot.
movie.
Um,
With the exception of Ted Levine's performance,
and his
every
look.
single fucking thing about the movie.
And Ted Levine's look. Ted Levine was the only one who looked like a cowboy from the Old West.
But therein lies the problem. They're supposed to be Confederate soldiers, not
Mhm.
cowboys.
And the thing is, they only brought that up once in the beginning. They never ever brought up the fact that they were Confederate soldiers for the rest
It
of the
was
film, to
they
my knowledge.
sang that song a couple times. I'm a loyal rebel. I think that's what it's called. From the north. We fought with Grant. So yeah, but that's a good point. So they're supposed to be Confederate soldiers from the south, Jesse James style. Now they're Robin Banks to get back to the north.
Right.
Even though it's 1870 fucking three, it's like get over it. But here's the killer thing. They're like the guy Graff,
Mhm.
which is a horrible name,
Yeah.
who's supposed to be Mickey Rourke. He's in the beginning. Dermot Mulroney's like, "Yeah, Graff was our colonel. We fought in the war." And it's like, first off, Dermot Mulroney, what the fuck are you doing with your mouth? And then two, it's like they introduced it and then it was gone.
Mhm.
So at no point they were like Colonel Graff, sir,
Right.
or something. At no point was Dermot Mulroney, Sergeant Eustace, whatever his last name
Yeah.
was, or Private, go do this.
Yeah.
It's like they said they were in the military and then
Mhm.
did nothing that resembles what the military does
And
whatsoever.
they never brought it up again. That's the thing.
Right. So it was like it was there, and then they melded like 1870. It's supposed to be 1873. We're right after the Civil War. But then we get into like Young Guns look, but that's more 1880s. And I said this before. It's like driving around in a '57 Chevy.
Mhm.
In an era where everybody had Model Ts, like it just did they had these repeat Winchesters, and I'm like, where did you get those from? Like those would have been coming out right after this, or they would have like put the repeat Winchesters they had would have been brand spanking new, and it's like no, bank robbers wouldn't have had that.
My
shit.
main problem with this movie, notwithstanding his face, was Mickey Rourke.
Oh my god!
And the problem is, from what I've seen, I love Mickey Rourke. I haven't seen a lot of his stuff. I love
Did you
him.
ever see Animal Factory?
No.
He was in that, and he was great.
Okay. As much as you hate these type of films, I enjoyed him in The Expendables a lot. You saw The Wrestler. You got to say
Dude,
he was good in The
I
Wrestler.
almost spit all over you.
Yeah.
Not while I'm drinking stuff.
Good. You can back up how good he was in the Wrestler.
Yes, excellent.
He's my favorite character in the Sin City films. He's done other things. So
Who was he in this thing?
he was Marv. He's the big, giant, burly, like
That's true.
Cro-Magnon-looking guy at the bar. So he can act. He's got a charisma
Yeah,
about
sure.
him.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Here-
Very good.
Okay,
What was he doing?
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
What was his
Basically, this movie turned into like a revenge plot
Yeah.
because Mulroney,
Dermot Mulroney,
yeah, Mulroney stops him from shooting the little weakling kid.
Loomis.
Okay, and
All right, but
they
let's take a
shoot.
step back. So they do a bank robbery right at the
Okay.
beginning of the film. Okay, and then a bunch of people get shot, but one guy gets shot particularly bad. His name is Loomis.
Okay.
So they are somewhere in the West. They're trying to get to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Loomis is slowing them down.
Yes.
Mickey Rourke says, "Just live, yeah,
Well, he
yeah."
didn't talk like
And
that.
then and
He didn't. He
then
wasn't
Dermot
raspy.
Mulroney's like, "Bah, bah, bah." And so there's a conflict where Mickey Rourke, who's the colonel and is in charge, says leave him, and Eustace, who's Dermot Mulroney, won't leave him,
Mhm.
and it's slowing down the whole group
Yeah.
as they're trying to evade. And then Ted Levine is like looking, he's like, "Ain't no goddamn Pasha coming. I know it, you know it, we know it, they know it. It's what it is. Eustace, we gotta head down to Mexico." And it was great. I was like, "You tell him, Ted
Yeah,
Levine."
Levine's awesome.
Yeah, and then there's one line where, and it's one of my favorite lines now, where Eustace is like, "He got us out," and Ted Levine whips his horse around and he goes, "He got us in," and whips his horse back and leaves. And I'm like, "Yay!" And then the rest of the movie happened. It's like, shut
But
the
the
fuck
thing is,
up, movie.
Mulroney saves what's his name, Loomis, by
Loomis.
shooting Mickey Rourke, and then they leave
Right.
Mickey Rourke for dead.
He falls down a hill.
That was an actual cool fall. I'll say that.
Okay.
Stunt double, whatever.
Sorry.
Anyways, stunt double, whatever. That was cool. And then
sorry.
the rest of the film is basically a revenge film. Mickey Rourke
Yes.
after them. Here's the thing. Here's my problem. When it's a revenge film, first off, you got to like the person who wants to get the revenge.
Yes.
Okay.
Which you
For the most part.
should be able
For the
to
most
in
part.
Dermot Mulroney.
Right.
But he shits all over his performance.
And
So
then
it's like,
the thing is, though, we're following Mickey Rourke wanting to get revenge on Mulroney and his gang now because now he's the head guy.
yeah.
I don't care how.
So Mickey Rourke is leading the posse.
Yes.
Now they put him in charge to go capture.
I don't
the
care
guys who's
how
just with.
great of a crack shot Mickey Rourke is. I don't
No.
care how, Rain Man he is because he can count all the bullets that everyone has fucking shot. He's not intimidating. He's not scary. I don't care that he ripped off from Rambo 3 where he bites open a bullet and puts the
I'll show you
gunpowder.
healing. And then he's fine. And
He bites.
Never a
he puts
problem
the
again.
gunpowder in there and cauterizes the wound. That doesn't make him look badass. Even
No.
if I had never seen Rambo 3, I would have bought it. His performance
Wait,
here
what?
is not.
You have or you haven't?
I have seen Rambo
Okay,
3.
but you wouldn't. Okay.
If I hadn't seen Rambo 3,
Yes.
I still would not have bought this.
No.
Because in Mickey Rourke's performance, he's not intimidating. He's not scary. Even if he didn't have, plastic Halloween mask face.
Do you know what Primus's were known as Big Brown Beaver?
Mhm.
The video.
Mhm.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's
They
real
put
bad.
that cardboard shit on their face where like they have this weird face and then their eyes are like sunken in behind it and you're like, oh my god.
And
That's what
but
he
the
looks
thing
like. But there's nothing on his face. It's just his face. It's just his face.
he's like I said, he's not intimidating, so I really
No.
don't care. And then you have this great cast who can act, and they don't act worth a shit.
They're not.
Keith David, there's the scene where Mulroney finds out that Keith is now working with Mickey Rourke because there's so many fucking double crosses in this movie.
Yes.
And then basically Keith David's going to commit suicide because he can't deal with the fact that he was caught.
And
or
his name
something
is
like
fucking Lovecraft.
that. And the thing is, though, it's a long scene. It's got to be at least 3.5, 4 minutes of horrible shit acting. Keith David can act.
Yes.
And I'm just like,
but
this is supposed to be an emotional scene. There's no score. It goes on and on and on. You don't really give a shit because you still don't know after an hour and 10, an hour and 20 minutes in, you still know nothing about Keith David other than the fact that he can do voodoo. In one scene, he's checking the bones to find out who's going to die next. But the thing is, though, you don't care that he's going to kill himself, and his performance is such shit.
But here's the other
It
thing
takes you out. Like you can tell he's fake crying. He's trying to, I can't cry on cue, but you can tell he's trying to think of something to make himself cry, and it just looks like a 5th grade drama club trying to cry.
It looked like a TV movie Western thing, which is fine, but it's like, but you had this cast. You had this shot. You had this experienced director. This great cast. The thing we forgot to mention, though, is this Lovecraft guy, played by David Keith, if you're not familiar, he's black.
Keith David.
David
Keith is
black.
a white guy.
So he's hanging out with this group of people who fought in the Civil War for the South.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
And then periodically he's like, that's heavy. I savvy what I savvy. And it's like, but then at other times he's like, I'm an actor from New York. I savvy what I savvy from New York. And you're like, what? Where are you from? Who are you? Why are you a black guy hanging out with these Southern Confederate loyalists singing I'm a loyal rebel? Like, what? What is happening in this movie? And then John McGinnis,
John C. McGinley.
John C. McGinley, he just sounds like an actor from New York.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even trying an accent. Like Steve Buscemi is a little Southern light.
But the thing is, though, Buscemi is like in it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's not really in this too much.
I will say this: I thought the gore was good for what little gore there is.
Yeah.
Buscemi's, we were going to spoil the shit out of it. Buscemi's death came out of nowhere, got me, didn't expect it. Shot in the face, his face explodes, really good.
Mm-hmm.
When the wimpy guy, Loomis, when he's injured and Mickey Rourke picking him off one by one, which is basically ripped off from Full Metal Jacket.
From enough movies, it's all ripped off from something.
You see his legs exploding, very well done. Yeah. But overall, my attention was not in this film because I didn't care.
It never pulled you in.
And here's the thing, Loomis, we're talking about him. I didn't like his character at all because there's a scene where they're all beating up John C. McGinley. And they're all, Mulroney's beating him up, and Keith David is playing with the bones behind him or something.
I think it was Ted Levine.
Did I get that right? No.
Anyways,
you got Loomis, saying, get him, boss, get him. This is what you get. I'm just like, so we go from a drama, Western, whatever, to an attempt at comedy because this Loomis character is trying to be goofy and silly. And to me, it was just retarded. I could not stand that scene. I was glad when they finally picked Loomis off. I didn't miss him at all.
Yeah. There's one moment where they're like riding up the slope. It's real difficult riding. He's been shot in the leg. At one point he like goes delirious, falls off his horse, and then they sing the song. I think it's "I'm a Loyal Rebel." As they're like, "I'm a loyal rebel," and then he's coming in behind. He's like, "I'm a loyal rebel," and you're like, "Oh, poor Loomis." And then like 20 minutes later, you're like, "Just fucking shoot him! Just fucking shoot him!" Like, and so, but here's part of the problem, as well, is that again. Mickey Rourke is supposed to be like he was our colonel in the war. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh yeah, which outfit? Like nothing he did felt like he was from the South. Nothing he did felt like this is something a colonel would do, say. Were they all in the same unit together? They don't behave like that. Mm-hmm. They act like a group of guys that like Loomis, like they just met him. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay. So the Civil War went from 1861 to 1865. That's a long ass time. Now it's like 8 years later. You've known this guy for over a decade, and theoretically in this movie, but they treat him like, with the exception of Mickey Rourke treats him like he just met the guy.
Yeah.
This isn't a guy he's known for over a decade. This isn't a guy who served under him in blood, sweat, and tears. Like they never sold that facet of the film. They went, we're from the South. Even though we sound like we're from New York, we're from the South. Trust us. Trust us. Or I'm going to plot. And you're like, no. And then it's a Western. And it's like, make up your fucking mind what your movie is. Mm-hmm. Because as they go, and then the marshals, like, he's like, I never missed before. And it's just like,
I did like that scene.
What's his motivation? Is he simply trying to catch these guys? Or does he have like a blood vendetta against them? I don't know.
I like that scene where the marshal's going to pick off Mulroney and Mickey Rourke's telling him what he's doing wrong, holding his rifle.
Right.
That, just
distracting him.
Yeah, I really like that scene. Other than that.
But then what it does too is, if you've seen Young Guns 2, it was the same scene as when Pat Garrett takes a shot at Billy the Kid before the guy who went and did Lord of the Rings had shot at him. So it's like, I'm like, oh, that's just like Young Guns 2. Oh, that's just like this. It's like, movie! Yeah. Just stop! And it all could have come together except for fucking Mickey Rourke's face. Did we mention, so he Captain Jack Sparrow this time?
Oh, that's right.
So he's Captain Jack Sparrow as shit, but he's supposed to be a colonel from the South. He doesn't sound like it, but he looks like Captain Jack Sparrow.
Because he literally does, because there's a scene where he's walking into a saloon, and he doesn't have his fucking cowboy hat on. He's got just the bandana. The bandana's all the way down. and he's got like this big fucking conquistador mustache.
Exactly.
Going, and
yes.
And he's got the melted face. So he literally looks like, and he kind of stumbles a little bit, so he looks like Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
So out of all the things that this movie has ripped off, Johnny Depp ripped off Mickey Rourke for Captain Jack Sparrow.
He comes off like there's some kind of Spanish influence, and it's like you're a colonel from the South. Colonels, if you're not familiar, lead regiments or different ranks, but it's like that's a high-ranking guy, so he should be like, listen here now, we're gonna attack on the right flank. Then you're going to come out here and do this. And then when I'm on the left, you're going to stabilize and you're going to put some fire down. And instead he's like, whatever he did. Instead he's like, yo quiero Taco Bell. And it's like, what? Like, what, who are you? Are you a colonel who fought in miscellaneous unit from the South? And where are you from in the South? Or is this a Western and you're from Mexico? And you're here to something about Mexico. Like, who the fuck is your character? Pick a character and go with it. And he's like, I'm going to be whatever I want to be from scene to scene. Don't tell me otherwise. Look at my face. And you're like, oh.
And speaking of his face, we had whoever the director was, the
Jeff
guy,
Murphy.
He does a lot of close-ups on his face, too.
You would think.
And then he does like a lot of, what are they, up-cam shots? When you're looking up towards the actor, like Keith David's right on the horse, and for some reason we're just looking up at him. His low angle shots, okay. His quick cuts are horrible. It's just like a big pile of, he cut out different types of shots.
Yeah.
Out of like, filmmaking 101. Threw them in a bowl and he's like, okay, this one's going to be a low angle shot. This one's going to be a wide shot. Well, we just did 3 close-ups of Mickey Rourke. Looks like this one's going to happen again.
And that's what's baffling because, again, he directed Young Guns 2. Young Guns 2, a little weird in the story, but it looked fine. It was a sellable Western.
And here's the thing.
Top tier. This looked like it felt like somebody's 10-year-old wrote it, and it felt like a first-year college student was the director of photography.
Here's the thing. We both mentioned it on our channels about Uwe Boll retiring.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I'm bringing him up is I enjoy Uwe. Okay. I enjoy his films.
That was a violin.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. We're talking about shit cast, shit acting, shitty directing, shitty writing. All Uwe's known for. However, there's a difference between an Uwe Boll film, in my perspective, and The Last Outlaw. I can at least take Uwe Boll's.
I got you, Uwe Bill, right here.
Uwe Boll's films for what they are.
Yes.
They're self-aware. They're fun, at least for me.
Yeah, even if historically it makes no sense.
Exactly.
Shit. It's supposed to be fun.
His actors are putting in effort for the most part when he's got the big name cast.
Ben Kingsley, who was like,
well, that's because Ben Kingsley was drunk the whole time.
Good.
Seriously, him and Michael Madsen were drunk on the set of Blood Rain. But anyways, what I mean is, I am always engaged for the most part by Uwe Boll films. Either, I like the characters, the unnecessary action, this and that. But
the gore.
The gore. I'm usually never bored. 9 times out of 10. There are some Uwe Boll films that are crap. I'm not going to lie. But in The Last Outlaw, I really didn't give a shit. So I will say this: Uwe Boll is a better director than Jeff. What's his name?
In terms of this film, I would, and it's a very valid point because it's like with.
See, that's the thing. How can I shit on The Last Outlaw for bad set design? I mean, when they're in the town,
it looked like shit.
It was like cardboard cutouts. But I can't shit on The Last Outlaw but praise Uwe when they're the same type of things. But with Uwe, I was able to stay engaged and my interest was kept.
If you go make Clerks for $36,000, which is shot almost exclusively inside a convenience store by guys who had no fucking idea what they were doing.
Right.
But it's a comedy where a bunch of guys are sitting around yakking and making funny anecdotes and witty quips and all that stuff. It's fine. So like whatever film you're making, even if it looks like shit, that you make the right film, you can make it work.
Yep.
This film took too many different concepts, tried to splice them together, or didn't realize they were doing that. So again, with Dermot Mulroney, he's like, Jeff was our leader. And you're like, why? You're a soldier from the Confederate Army from the 1860s. Like, why are you sounding like this? Why would you make that choice? That's like an action movie choice. Christian Bale, Batman. He's like, yeah, the Joker, yeah, and you're like, okay, but it's like, so it's out of place. So it's like, it could have worked on there. They had the budget.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely had the actors, and that's the sad part. And either no one really, this was just like a tax write-off or something, or something where they're like, yeah, we got this. Let's just pump this. Let's go play Cowboys for a couple weekends.
Did they actually do this
Shoot
when
it
they
up.
say that?
Yeah, they're like. But like John C. McGinley, when he goes to give that speech, it's like, dude, you're not even trying to be
and he can
South
act,
at
he
all.
can act as little as he was.
Fucking
He was
Point Break.
Platoon.
He
was good in that too.
Him and Keith David, like, and that there's the other thing too. It's Keith David, not David Keith. Keith David.
Keith David is black. David Keith is white.
Ironic. But okay, so Keith David was also in Platoon, and in that film, he's supposed to be from like Georgia. He makes reference to like something about Georgia pussy down by the river. He sounded like he was from the South in Platoon, which was shot in '87. Here we are, like 7 years later, and now he can't do a Southern accent, and it's like, where are you from? Mm-hmm. Are you from Chicago, Pittsburgh? You're all sound like you're from the North. Like, the fuck? So when they've done it before in their careers, and Dermot Mulroney, Young Guns too, didn't sound like some. So it's just like, you've done this before. Like, where'd that go? So what was it? Jeff Murphy was just like, fuck it, guys. Just pretend like you go back, be you from New York with the thing, or what happened? I don't know. It's perplexing.
In the end, this is not the worst you made me watch.
It was more just annoying.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Just annoying.
If we're still doing our list, Fart the movie is still the worst thing you've ever made me watch. This is probably not
even within its context.
And the thing is, we've been shitting on this for, we're splicing the videos together, 22 minutes. This isn't even in like the top worst 5 you made me watch. No. But like you said, it was just an annoyance.
Like Ted Levine gives a good performance. There's a few cool concepts here and there, a couple nice shootout sequences.
I don't recommend it. It was more like a waste of time.
No. Unless you want a movie to take a shit on. Unless you want to feel bad for an hour and 40 minutes. And just like, that fucking bitch left me and took the kids. I'm going to watch a shitty film because they have worse.
And then you think about it, could be worse. I could be Ted Levine, the only good actor in this movie.
And man, put that guy in a fucking Western. I don't know if he's done another Western.
I don't know. I just remember him talking.
Unless you count the assassination. He never got to be a cowboy in a Western. This was his shot. And this is what came from it. And that's just
maybe that's why he's never been a cowboy again.
But I mean, again, the cat, that's the thing. The cast was fucking awesome. They had a great opportunity to make a funny shit, even if it didn't have a budget, even if it wasn't phenomenal. You still had a shot for a groovy ass, shoot 'em out, action Western, and instead you just farted. And like make your Rourke's face like a fart in the car. So that's it here from the Whitey the White Guy show. I'm Whitey. This is the lovable cracker.
Aww.
And
you won't say that next when we talk about some movies you've had to watch. But we'll get to that. Anyways, like and subscribe.
The Wiz. Where's that knife?
Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies.
Oh, and welcome back to our old set. I hope you realize that's where we're at. So,
yeah, we're really moving up in the world.
Oh, also, real quick, while I have you here, we're just doing movies and reviews on this show, but we'll be doing a politics show separately. So, enjoy the films and the yucks. So, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Good journey. Good journey. Who's on the button?